Hi, welcome to the channel. Here we talk about music, film, and whatever else you want to talk about. We'll find some cover songs, find some originals, find live music. You'll find a bunch of stuff. Go ahead and explore while you're here. Today is K-Man-X episode, and K-Man-X likes to talk about truth, sometimes uncomfortable truth. Today we are going to talk about crowdfunding, more specifically Patreon. You heard of Patreon. What is Patreon? Patreon is a crowdfunding service, and it's where fans or supporters of the talent or the artist, the gamer, the YouTuber, whatever it is they might be, can help donate, support what that person's doing. Are you against that? I want to know. Because if you are, I got some arguments for it. One is content that you're consuming free right now. How free is it? It's not free for me. I got to put in my time. I have to pay for whatever equipment I use. I have it mapped out that I'm making about 25 cents an hour doing these YouTube videos. Recording the song, production of the song, filming the video, like I said, equipment. And that's I'm left 25 cents an hour. Now, if you have a problem with a service like Patreon so that the creator can make a little more money than say like 25 cents, and I'm sure that some of them are probably making more money than me, some of the bigger ones, but they all have Patreon, then, you know, I'm gonna ask you to maybe stop collecting the check government, or tell your parents that you no longer need an allowance, or better yet, you can tell your boss you'll work for the rest of the year for free. You'll just show up, you won't even clock in, come in, do whatever it is you do for a job, absolutely for free, except 10 years, and then come back to me and we'll have this discussion. That's how long I've been doing this, 10 years, and I have not received one check from YouTube. 10 years, zero cash. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not doing this to make money. I don't care about money. I hate talking about it. And money's the last thing I want to talk about. And I'm not making a Patreon to ask for money. I'm making a Patreon so that I can produce more value for people that want more value. And we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But let's talk about the starving artist, the working artist, the artist who is struggling, who is broke. And there's more fun jobs out there, like race car driving, or playing football, or any type of sport. Hard to get into, but if you can, you make really good money. And how does that all work? It's all kind of the same as a working musician. You got the race car driver. He has to pay for his car. He must pay for everything up front. Same thing with the musician. The same thing with the NFL guy. He pays for school, and the artist needs to pay for their schooling, possibly, or the paper that they draw the pictures on. It all is paid up front by the artist in hopes that at some point they will get a reward if they're good enough. And sometimes the rewards aren't that great. Especially if you're an artist and you have to pay for a gallery to show your work. Or if you're a musician in a band and you have to pay for a venue for you to play your music. Race car drivers have to pay an entry fee so that they can enter into the race. And as far as football or sports goes, my knowledge kind of drops there. I'm not really a sport person, so much as I'd love to bring these sports people into the fold, I can't. But I'm sure that at some point, other than uniforms, and they pay for their own stadium, and they pay for their transportation, and they pay for all of that, which a lot of it goes towards the team's bill or the coach's bill, which later is pulled from them. Other than that, I'm not. So going back to the artist, their hope is at the venue they sell enough painting or get enough exposure to pay for the gallery that they are in. The musician hopes that they sell enough tickets to pay the venue they were at so that they can pay for the venue and maybe walk away with a few extra bucks and maybe some t-shirt TD sale. And the race car driver, a little bit of that money goes into a pot that they can later, if they win, get as a prize. The other form, step, this is where they actually start to make some kind of income, some kind of money through sponsorship or advertisers. But this is when they start becoming slaves, because just like you at your job, they now have to answer somebody other than the consumer. And usually the consumer supports them in what they're doing, because if they didn't support what they were doing, they wouldn't be there watching them, spending time with them, cheering them on, and buying their stuff. And the consumer or the fan, as much as they make that person, that consumer isn't making the artist, race car driver, sports personality. The consumer is making that person, but they're not making that person money. They're making the advertisers money. And the advertisers will take some of that money toward the artist for making them rich. And the artist has to bend over backwards and do everything they need to do to satisfy the advertiser. And that's what's going on in YouTube, and that's why you see a lot of YouTubers starting to drift toward other sources of income. Because they got into YouTube, they wanted to read, they wanted to express themselves, they wanted to do the art form that they wanted to do without being hindered by corporations. Advertisers, the exact people that the rest of us are forced to work for and make money, and in the end have nothing to show. I worked 40 plus hours. I also was a small business owner where I did construction, mostly because I have trouble working for others. And if I'm going to put my time into something that I don't want to do, I want to be able to make it worth my while. Now, being forced to do something you don't like and making chump change isn't how anyone should be living. But what is it that I want to do? I want to be making film. I want to be making music. And don't for a minute think I'm full of hot air. Because when I was 19, went all the way to California, and I learned from Hollywood and professionals on how to make film, how to edit film. I studied film. I went to school for acting. I've done numerous plays, volunteer, just for the experience and just for the love of doing it. Just like I've made a number of videos on YouTube, just for the experience, just for the joy of it, just for fun. But like every other artist, there's that aspiration, the dream, that someday I can do this for a living, that someday I can support myself on my art. And I didn't fail. I was successful in Hollywood. I was in movies. I met crazy people. I've got awesome stories to tell about it. But here's the thing, Union in California, in Hollywood, is the back door that's shut. Everyone sees the beautiful front door, and you get close enough and you realize that's just a painting. There's nothing there. You gotta go to the back of the building, through the sketchy hallway, going through all of the other starving artists and the junkies and the prostitute to get to that back door that has a big giant U on it. And the U isn't for you. The U is for union members only. What does that mean? It means unless you're in one of their unions, which for me it would have been the Screen Actors Guild, you need to pay $3,000 at the time and have 3 vouchers and the doors open. And then once you're through that, then they look at your talent. It doesn't matter about talent until you're in the union. But once you're in the union, then it becomes, all right, show us what you got. Now, being a broke, starving, struggling artist, you don't have $3,000. And the vouchers, unless you're doing some major favors, you're not getting those vouchers. And they'll tell you that the vouchers, or the voucher system, or they'll tell you that the union is to protect people's jobs. Because you can have somebody like me who will show up on that and be like, you know what, I'll do this job, and I'll do it half as much as that guy is paying you. Or I'll just volunteer and I'll do it, you don't even need to pay me, I just want to be in this movie. And they'll do it, they will. But the unions tell them they can't. Because the unions say, no, you have to pay everybody the same amount of money. It all needs to be fair. So now they're looking at it, well, if I have to pay this guy $500 to read one line, why would I pay this guy over this guy when this guy has fan, has experience, and has connection? Why would I burn that guy? I don't know who this guy that's walked off the street. He might be more talented, he might be better looking, but no one knows who he is. So why would I pay that guy $500 when I have this guy, when everybody knows this guy and everybody likes? So it legit takes the head off of anyone new trying to get into it. And that's what the unions are about in California. And that's why they say it's who you know. Because if you know somebody who can open that back door for you, you're good to go. But if you don't know anyone and you got to do it the correct way that they lay out for you, it's almost impossible. Unless you got $3,000 and can get those 3 vouchers. I had gotten 2 of them, by the way, and I was still about $3,000 short when I finally gave up on life. And as far as music goes, labels. That used to be the old way until the internet came along. And then Napster came along and scared the hell out of all the big companies when everything became free. And I'm one of those people that's like, let it be free. Like, really, I am. Well, obviously people need to be paid for their work so that they can produce more work. But these labels aren't paying the talent anyway. They're taking all the money themselves. So why try and support a band and buy a $10 CD and they get 25 cents of it? That's almost as bad as me making 25 cents an hour on these videos. Who's getting all that money? The advertisers. You have a problem with that, I suggest you stop buying advertisers' things. You stop going to the grocery. Just like you told your boss, listen, I'm going to start working for free. You can tell the advertisers, I'm not eating your food, I'm not buying your clothes anymore. That's just not going to happen. You have no choice by their things. All you can decide is which advertiser you like the best. And then they're all pretty much owned by like a certain few people anyways. So you just figure out, I like this one looks better than the other one. And you need to work, you need money, because you need to pay for your things. Never mind the expense to live, never mind food, but you need to pay. So there's no getting around it. As much as you might hate it, as much as I hate it, there's no getting around that you need money. And it's just a vicious circle that continues to bite you in the butt. But you can help support the people who are trying to be different. You can help support the people directly. You can help support the people that actually give meaning and value to your own life. You can get inspiration from these. You can be like, that person is doing it, that's incredibly awesome, I want to do it too. And there you go. Now there's only one way to change the world, and it's not by yourself. I mean, you can be the head of something, be a president of the United States. You're not going to change the world all by yourself. You need the power of the United States there. You need some kind of leader, some kind of pioneer. You need somebody to give it. And they're not going to get very far without any type of funding, any kind of support. And if you don't like how Hollywood's doing things over out there in Hollywood, and you were like me, and your dream is to become an actor or make film, and you realize that the way that they are doing it doesn't fit how you would like done, or if you were a musician and you want to play guitar, and you may have even paid college tuitions and went to school for engineering on music, and now you're trying to figure out how can I actually make money or get support or anything else, maybe my channel has stuff to offer, because I'm sick of how it has always been. I am sick of how it looks like it's going to be. I'm sick of dreams just being dreams. And I want to remind you that you still need to invest in yourself. Because if no one does the initial investment, you aren't willing to invest into yourself, whether the equipment, practice, school, your own money. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you. Now let's talk about the value of Patreon. There's many people doing Patreon in a lot of different ways. This is how I'm going to be doing it. Now, I'm not about money, but I am about adding more value to what I can give you. So I thought about this, and how can I do that? And that's to just do 1 or 2 pledges. The first pledge, which is $1 a month, $12 a year, is to help me keep everything free. Help me keep producing free content on YouTube. Help me keep producing free music to put on YouTube. And just for one donation, $1 a month, I have created an online store that's similar to my already online store, except you have discounted prices. You can get, like this shirt, $2 off. There's other shirts on there that are $5 to $10 off. There's mugs, there's all kinds of cool and interesting stuff with my artwork, all discounted for just $1 a month. And then, free music download, unlimited music that I produce, I want to put on there for free download. If you want to talk to me more, that's the best way to get a hold of me is through Patreon. And in the future, I'm going to have more exclusive content as I can do this more and more and spend less of my time at work, spend more of my time creating, producing music, doing film, finish writing my book. All of that stuff will be free on Patreon or discount. And as this grows and grows, there's going to be more discounts and more free. Like if eventually I can take this on the road, Patreon is where you're going to be able to go to get tickets. And if you're a supporter of me, like more so than just a regular click and play, then you, my friends, are the dream maker. And that is what that $1 a month, $12 a year is going to be. And I was thinking of the second one, which is $1 a video. And I want to do 3 videos a week, but I'm lucky if I can produce 1. So right now I'm doing 4 videos a month. That ends up being $4 a month if that's the route you go. And then you can cap it. You can be like, I only want to do 2 videos a month, or I only want to do 3. That, my friend, become a dream producer. And that money gets you all the benefits for, except I'm going to give you the guarantee that that money goes exclusively towards producing these videos. And what does that money go towards? Well, it goes towards any talent I need to hire. It goes towards equipment, like cameras, like a green screen. And like I said, as it gets bigger and bigger, and more people get involved, we're going to take this place over. The consumer, the fan, the artist. No more breaking up that. It's done. It's the future. You're going to file the shout. Peace!